This is ABC7 News at 5. Your Suncoast News. We're here for you.
Good evening, I'm Haley Wilkes.
And I'm Scott Dennis. Thanks so much for being with us tonight. Our top story, Tropical Storm Emily, as it makes its trek across the Suncoast today.
The storm is dumping huge amounts of rain, bringing some heavy winds to central and south parts of the state. Here on the Suncoast, there are downed trees, some homes and businesses have been damaged, and streets have been flooded. We are bringing you team coverage of the current conditions in Sarasota and Manatee counties, the damage that's being reported.
But first, let's check in with ABC7 Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan on the latest of this storm. Bob?
Well, it is no longer now a tropical storm. This just in from the National Hurricane Center. It is now a tropical depression. Top winds are down to 35 miles an hour. It's below that threshold of 40. I can attest, I was up in northwest Bradenton, by far that had the worst damage associated with Emily as it made its way in through Anna Maria Island right around 11 o'clock this morning. Now, the storm's winds at one point at one particular weather station there in Bradenton near Hawthorne in northwest Bradenton had a recorded gust of 73 miles an hour right around when the tornado warning was issued. And there are numerous trees down in northwest Bradenton. This is Emily's location now. Top winds at 35. It's moving to the east-northeast at 12. So in that general direction, the pressure at 1,007 millibars, that is coming up. That's a good sign, too. Now that it's over land, it doesn't have that source of energy, which is the warm water of the Gulf of Mexico. And it formed on the tail end of a frontal system that moved down, an unusual cold front in north central Florida. I wanted to show you this Anna Maria webcam time lapse from 10:30 this morning until 11 o'clock or 11:30 in the morning, and you'll get a look at those strong winds. That was fairly close to that tornado or alleged tornado that moved through. You see those winds just whipping up at times up to 60, 70 miles an hour. As I said, I was up there at that time, and I can attest they were that strong. Now, the radar loop is suggesting that the center is right about here now and continue to push off toward the east. The mid-level low, which brought us all that rough weather, again, is well east of the lower center, and that means it's becoming disorganized now that it's over land. There are some showers developing on the back side of it, but nothing too severe at this point. However, this line has kind of gained some strength recently, and there's enough twist still in the atmosphere for the possibility of an isolated tornado. I would not be too surprised to see something generated on that line in the eastern portions of Hardee County right now, because this has really kind of intensified as of late. And as far as out in the Gulf, not much going on out here. A few spotty showers have been popping up here and there. The good news is the tropical storm warning has been discontinued for our coast. Nothing going on there. We have some flood advisories obviously still, but the flood watch is also gone for us as a result of this system weakening. Well, much more on this and another system that could be developing in the Atlantic. All that coming up in just a few minutes. Back to you.
All right, Bob, thank you so much. Governor Rick Scott declaring a state of emergency in 31 counties, including Sarasota and Manatee, in response to Tropical Storm Emily. The declaration covers all counties in central and southern portions of the state. Governor Scott says he made the declaration to ensure that every community has the resources they need and the state and regional and local agencies can work together more effectively. Now, the Florida National Guard is ready to assist with any storm-related impacts, but Governor Scott says it's up to every individual to be prepared.
Today is a reminder that in Florida, severe weather can come at any time, especially during hurricane season. So it's very important that every family get prepared on the front end.
The emergency declaration also triggers certain laws dealing with price gouging and allows local authorities to use certain state buildings as shelters if necessary. Now, as you heard Bob mention, northwest Bradenton and parts of Palmetto were under a tornado warning in the middle of today's storm.
Those living in a West Bradenton community say the rain and wind, some of the worst they've seen in years. ABC7's Adam Cellini is joining us live from West Bradenton to show us some of the damage and the aftermath in that area. Adam.
Yeah, Scott and Haley, you heard Bob mention it. This area was hit pretty hard earlier today. I'm standing near one of several trees that you could see down up in this West Bradenton community. They were under a tornado warning for just around 5 minutes today, and that warning started the same time the Tropical Storm Emily made landfall out on Anna Maria Island. Now, hundreds of homes in this area are without power. According to Florida Power and Light's website, Geraldson's Farm Market, which is down down on 9th Avenue Northwest had their metal roof peeled back by wind gusts. And nearby Orban's Nursery watched their 40-year-old warehouse collapse after its massive roof was lifted up and crashed back down in a different position on top of the warehouse. Those who live here tell us this is one of the worst storms they have ever been through.
It was very intense, and I've lived here for 35 years.
I've never seen anything like it in all the years that I've been in business here.
The last time I saw something like this was the no-name storm, and this the work, but there's more trees down now. It's pretty bad.
Now, Florida Power and Light was reporting over 600 power outages as recently as 4 o'clock today. We spoke to some residents out there in that 9th Avenue Northwest area, and they were saying they were hoping their power would be back by dinner time, so either this hour or within the hour. We'll bring you more updates later on tonight. For now, live in West Bradenton, I'm Adam Cellini. Scott and Haley, back to you.
Thank you, Adam. Tropical storm Emily makes landfall on Anna Maria Island. Winds reaching up to 45 miles an hour. ABC7's Jess Dowdrick was there and has the latest.
This is the result of Tropical Storm Emily here on Anna Maria Island. As you can see behind me, some of the roadways are still flooded, but they aren't nearly what they were earlier today. Some of the streets here on the island saw from 6 inches to up to a foot of rain.
Flooding is extremely bad out here.
Tropical Storm Emily ripped ashore, bringing nearly 4 inches of rain to the island. Wind gusts reaching nearly 50 miles an hour.
It was crazy this morning. We were sound asleep and it was about 7 o'clock and we heard the loudest thunderclap I've ever heard in my life.
The Manatee County Sheriff taking to Twitter, warning residents to avoid the island if at all possible. For those already there, this was the scene. Many streets flooded, most still passable.
We saw a couple cars that were actually stuck.
That is very typical. We can have just like a downpour of like a half hour, 45 minutes, and the island will flood.
Some residents unable to make it home.
I have to walk to the police station and they will give me a ride home.
The roadways that aren't flooded are lined with debris from the trees, even large branches falling to the ground.
And I went out to the beach at about 8 o'clock this morning and the surf was absolutely huge. Rain, sand being whipped up, but it's pretty awesome to see.
The storm did move out of the area around 12:30 this afternoon. Businesses and residents were both losing power throughout the day. It was flickering on and off, but I'm told it has since been restored. On Anna Maria Island, Jess Dowdrick, ABC7, your Suncoast News.
Thank you, Jess. The storm and heavy rainfall causing some problems along Sarasota's bayfront. There used to be 3 small boats along the shoreline, but one sunk during the storm. We saw one man on a bike pedal up to the shoreline, as you can see here, and then try to go out to his small sailboat to bail it out of the water. Once the weather calmed down, others came out to inspect the conditions.
Why'd you come out today?
Oh, I'm an adventurer. I'm for danger. I come out here to see what's going on down here.
In the end, a lot of wind and rain, but no serious damage reported along the bayfront.
Some important closures to let you know about here on the Suncoast, all because of the weather. All district extracurricular activities scheduled after 1 o'clock this afternoon have been canceled in Manatee County schools. And then Sarasota County athletic fields all closed today because of the excessive rainfall. Some good news for drivers, though. The Sunshine Skyway Bridge is back open tonight. It was closed for several hours earlier today due to high winds. The roads in Sarasota, Manatee counties are mostly clear right now, but there is a crash in Venice. It's at Englewood Road and Tamiami Trail, and it is slowing traffic there, as you can see cars heading towards the east. And ABC7 wants to make sure you're fully prepared for a hurricane season. We have a lot of information about shelters, evacuation routes, supply kits, and more in our hour-long special called Surviving a Hurricane, which is available now on our other platforms, including Apple TV, Amazon Fire, and Roku. You can also download this year's hurricane guide at mysuncoast.com. Use today as a friendly reminder to get prepared.
Turning now to new details on a deadly shooting in Sarasota. Police say a man accidentally shot his sister and is now facing a manslaughter charge. Police were called to a house on Arlington Street yesterday afternoon. They say 20-year-old Letitia Cortez was sitting with family members at the kitchen table when her brother, 19-year-old Daniel Cortez Reyes, pulled out a semi-automatic handgun. He told investigators he pulled the magazine out of the firearm, inserted the magazine again, and the gun discharged. A single round struck his sister in the head. She was taken to Sarasota Memorial Hospital, where she later died. At this time, investigators say that they believe the shooting was accidental.
The construction cones are now gone. The first diverging diamond interchange in Florida at I-75 and University Parkway is now fully operational. The traffic pattern partially opened to traffic back in May, and today the Florida Department of Transportation announcing that for the first time all 12 lanes of University are open. All crews have to do now is add the last layer of asphalt and then lane striping during overnight hours. But construction will be suspended from September 16th through October 3rd for the World Rowing Championships at nearby Nathan Benderson Park.
ABC7 business commentator Richard Stern is joining us now to let us know that the month of July is in the books, so we want to see how we did on Wall Street.
Well, Haley, we did very well. I'd like to take the credit personally, but I'm afraid it's the investors who put their money to work that made it so good. In fact, the month of July, the year to date now, the Dow Jones Industrial Average is up by 11% plus, as is the S&P. We've seen record closes for the Dow every day for a week, including today. And during the month, we saw record closes for both the Dow Jones Industrial Average, the NASDAQ, and the S&P 500. So no matter how you slice it, the second best month of the year. Only February had better numbers than we saw for the month of July. So let's take a look and see how we did finish. A record close, there it is. The Dow was actually intraday over 21,900 for the first time. We closed at 21,891.12, a gain of almost 61 points, 0.3% on volume of 699 million shares. The NASDAQ, the loser of the day, but a very strong month, up 26.5 points. Make that down 26.5 points, down 0.4% at 6,348.12. That on volume of 1,648 million shares. The S&P barely went anywhere, not even 0.1%, down less than 2 points at 2,470.30. Well, there are a number of stocks that did very well and had a lot to do with the fact that we had such a good month of July, but there's simply no question that Boeing was the primary reason behind it. Boeing announced excellent earnings, and in just the last 6 trading days, the stock has been up by 15%. That translates, as part of the Dow, into more than 200 Dow points thanks to Boeing alone. And they announced just today that they're expecting huge orders out of India, which up until this point has been a relatively modest contribution to earnings, but they're looking at billions of dollars of orders coming from India over the next 20 years. I know 20 years is a long time, but that's a lot of money being spent, and Boeing has certainly been the result or the benefactor of it. And the bottom line was July was just fine, thank you, and year to date, no complaints at all.
So, Richard, the new month starts tomorrow. What are your expectations then for August?
Well, Scott, I'd love to tell you I know, but the bottom line is it's all about earnings, and so far earnings have been nothing short of terrific, and earnings will come at us again tomorrow. A number of companies reporting earnings, so we'll see how it goes. But as earnings go, so will go the month of August, the famous summer rally, as we call it.
All right. Richard, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Still to come in your Suncoast News tonight, a victory for flyers across the country. The FAA is now being ordered to look into the always shrinking legroom on commercial flights.
And ABC7 Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan will be back with the rest of your forecast to see what's next after Emily. Plus, the harsh reality of over-prescribing antibiotics, how it's affecting superbugs in HealthSmart.
The ABC7 Stock Report is brought to you by Sunset Cadillac.
Tomorrow at 4 on Suncoast View.
The back-to-school countdown is on, and we'll help you get ready all week long. I'm Stephanie Roberts on Suncoast View. Adjusting the kids' summer sleep patterns is hard to do. A sleep doctor tells us how much sleep kids really need to be rested for the new school year. We'll learn how to make packing a lunch fun and easy with DIY Lunchables, plus fashion photography with Ringling and empanadas in the kitchen.
Tomorrow at 4 on Suncoast View.
Now's the perfect time to work with California Closets. During our Shades of White event, save up to 20% on our beautiful white finishes for any space in your home. Contact us today for your free design consultation. Visit our showroom or online at californiaclosets.com.
Today, everyone is looking for carpeting that lasts longer. G. Fried has you covered with Karastan. With a legacy of quality and integrity, we provide you with a huge selection of Karastan carpets with exclusive lifetime limited warranties. All installed by our highly skilled, highly knowledgeable team. Come ask us why Karastan is the best and most durable. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
If you're only hungry for a slice of apple pie, why buy the whole pie? And you certainly wouldn't want to pay for an all-you-can-eat buffet. So if you don't use your cell phone that much, why get charged for a plan that's too big or even an unlimited plan? Luckily, there's still a wireless company that shares your values. Welcome to Consumer Cellular. Our average customer pays about $25 a month for everything they need. Many pay even less, as plans start at just $10 a month. You'll get a straightforward bill that's easy to understand, with no surprises, and all the attention you deserve from our friendly customer service team. No wonder Consumer Cellular has received J.D. Power Awards for highest customer service. Plus, if you're an AARP member, you'll receive special discounts. It's easy to switch. You can even keep your phone and your number. And now, for a limited time, get a $20 credit on any new line of service. Call 1-800-468-1930. Go to consumercellular.com or visit a Target store today.
About every 3 minutes in America, someone is diagnosed with a blood cancer. Light the Night brings together survivors and supporters to bring light to the darkness of cancer and to help fund life-saving research. Our goal is a world without blood cancers, and we're lighting the path to cures. The discoveries made in blood cancer research have led to breakthrough treatments for many cancers and other serious diseases. Help defeat the darkness of cancer. Join Light the Night today.
Now's the perfect time to work with California Closets. During our Shades of White event, save up to 20% on our beautiful white finishes for any space in your home. Contact us today for your free design consultation. Visit our showroom or online at californiaclosets.com.
A judge is calling it the case of the incredible shrinking seats, airliner seats, and the space between them are getting smaller while Americans are getting larger, and now that could be considered a safety hazard. As ABC's Danya Backus shows us, there could be soon a minimum space requirement for airline passengers.
We're seeing more images like this.
Oh my God, look at what you did to him!
Cabin confrontations and stressed out passengers in what could be considered the not so friendly skies. On top of it all, flyers are also losing legroom.
They stuff us into airplanes like we're a bunch of sardines.
Now, the U.S. Court of Appeals has ordered the FAA to take a closer look at the amount of space passengers have on commercial planes. After advocacy group Flyers Rights challenged the FAA, saying cramped planes are a safety hazard and the government needs to do something about it.
It does not appear that people can get out with the smaller seats. Most recently, there was an evacuation for a burning engine in an aircraft, and it took about 5 minutes instead of 90 seconds.
According to Flyers Rights, seat widths have decreased about 1.5 inches since the early 2000s, measuring up to 17 inches. The space between seats has also decreased, going from an average of 35 inches to about 31, with some bargain airlines having just 28 inches of legroom.
That's almost inhumane. It ought to change. The new evidence of safety gives the FAA the opportunity to look into this.
Comfort is something the FAA does not look at, but they say they do consider it when testing and assessing the safe evacuation of an aircraft. The FAA is now studying the ruling. Danya Backus, ABC News, Los Angeles.
So happy to hear that after spending more than 10 hours on a plane yesterday.
Yeah. That would not be fun. Yeah, welcome back.
Hawaii,
I hear you had a great
Facebook
trip.
post. Yeah, beautiful shot.
We're very jealous.
Pictures.
What a
Yeah,
beautiful
absolutely.
place. What a beautiful place. But every trip I go on, it's always so great to get back home because
it's
in paradise here.
Right.
It's not like going back to,
You were
I can't
welcomed
say
by
it somewhere else, but yeah,
by a
Florida's nice.
tropical storm, though. I mean,
Yeah. A short one, too.
Right, very
Around
short.
less than 12 hours. You
Wow.
know, we got the advisory after 6, and now it's before 6, and it's all over in terms of being a tropical storm. But we still have a tropical system out there, so we have to keep an eye on it. By the way, I want to tell you about our weather app. This is amazing. I was sitting there in the morning. You know, there was some big thunder around.
Right.
My wife woke me up because she says there might be something tropical. And sure enough, the phone alerted me to the tropical storm watch first, then the tropical storm warning, which soon followed right after. Because they found the winds up to 45 miles an hour. And then just tornado warning on the phone. And it all alerted me right there. I was not watching TV. It was just boom, boom, boom. So download the weather app. Go search right now if you can. I really recommend this. On top of that, we have the ability to give you updated advisories on this. 30-second videos. You know, we know you don't like to watch more than 30 seconds.
True.
And it's really quite important that you do this. I normally wouldn't say that about a product unless I'm really certain that it's working well. Okay?
And you're not getting any kind of profit off of
I
this.
should be. Yeah, I should be. I'm going to get a little commercial.
He's going to work on that.
Yeah. I really think this is fascinating here, the Anna Maria webcam. I know a lot of people didn't get the kind of weather they saw up in northwest Bradenton, but let me tell you, it was tremendous up there as far as the wind goes. Just tremendous, in fact, a tremendous wind speed. One person in particular, Ed Goff, who has this camera showing that strong wind moving through, he has a recording device, not there, but just about 4 miles away on land, on the mainland, 73-mile-an-hour wind. Now, that was at that time, right around 11 o'clock, as the tornado warning came out. And I went in the closet. I normally hide in the closet. I can usually ascertain what's bad, but I took the wife, the dog, and went in the closet during that time, which we were living not too far away from there. Emily weakens, rain chances lowers on Tuesday, and better chances for rain to come back on Wednesday. You know, we talked about this on Thursday. When a front comes down this far south, especially this time of year, you don't normally see that. There's always a possibility of a little spin up on the tail end. I mentioned that on Thursday, and sure enough, it happened. And I've also gone to a lot of hurricane centers and said, you know, you may not get the 36-hour notice or warning prior to that. Or even a watch. So keep that in mind. The systems can pop up very quickly, especially during the upcoming months. Right now, not much rain associated with the low-level circulation. You can see some pretty big storms, though, east of Wauchula. This is interesting to note. Look at this cell right here, which is the wraparound from the system. And so this is going to be moving in a southeasterly direction. Not too severe, but a brief period of moderate to heavy rainfall expected around the wraparound of this system as it moves off to the east right now. The good news is the flood watch has expired for our area. So no longer under that flood threat, although we did have some flooding around. Estimated rainfall, get a look at that, the heaviest by far into Manatee County, although some heavier rain in South Sarasota and into Charlotte County. You can see that 3.1 near Palmetto, 3.5 up near Rabonia, 4.6 right there by the Sunshine Skyway Bridge. Lesser amounts out on Holmes Beach and Anna Maria Island. Down south near Northport, nearing 2 inches of rainfall there. And this is just in the last 12 hours. It does not take into account the rain that we had overnight. Well, you can see that clear distinction right here. That is a stationary front, the dry air just to the north, but some of that dry air is wrapping around, and that's the reason why we don't think this thing's going to intensify anymore. It's over land, and that usually causes it to weaken as it makes its way off to the east. You can see the winds not all that strong, anywhere from 15 to 20 miles an hour out of the west, northwest. For boaters tomorrow, much better. Winds out of the southeast, turning to the southwest at 10 to 15 knots. Seas will be 2 to 3 feet with a moderate chop. The water temperature now at 86 degrees. And that has cooled as a result of the wave action from Emily. High tide 9:12, low tide at 1:59. Good thing is that Emily came ashore right around low tide, so there wasn't any significant flooding. Partly cloudy, some scattered showers and storms are still possible. Southwest winds will be a bit breezy. Tomorrow, partly cloudy, 30% chance for storms, a high near 89. And then the extended forecast is calling for a better chance for rain on through Wednesday at 60%, drops off a little bit Thursday and Friday. And then we're back in business on Saturday and Sunday. Back to you.
Thank you, Bob. And health news tonight. People who drink alcohol moderately may have a lower risk of developing diabetes than those who never drink. That's according to a study published in Diabetology. Danish researchers say that men and women who have a few glasses 3 to 4 days a week have the lowest risks of developing diabetes. Men who drink frequently had a 27% lower risk, while women had a 32% lower risk of diabetes than those who drink alcohol less than 1 day a week. Overprescribing antibiotics is fueling drug-resistant superbugs, but It's often hard for doctors to determine if patients have a bacterial infection or a virus that won't benefit from antibiotics. Now, scientists from the University of Rochester identified 11 genetic markers in the blood that accurately distinguish between viral and bacterial infections. Using complex genetic and statistical analysis, researchers were able to correctly determine if the patients had bacterial infections 80 to 90% of the time. Coming up, boaters quickly become firefighters. How one couple was able to extinguish a fire without ever leaving the water. Plus, a bridge not for the faint of heart. Just how tall this breathtaking span is. Straight ahead.
So you've decided to go to college. That's cool. So pop quiz. Which is a better way to earn your degree? Commute to college and fill your gas tank, get stuck in traffic, drive in bad weather, try to find a parking space, walk a half-mile to class, or learn online at Independence University. You don't go to college. College goes to you. That's independence. That's Independence University. And all your supplies, including a brand new laptop and tablet, are included with tuition. Independence U for an independent you.
Call 1-800-671-4817.
We've all heard how military veterans adjusting to the civilian world may have certain issues.
30. 70.
If only everyone had this issue. No matter what challenge they face, Easter Seals is here for America's veterans.
Your daughter just had her first breakup. Do you A, put yourself in her shoes? B, console her?
Don't worry, sweetie. This is gonna happen a lot.
Or C, find her a new boyfriend?
Nice, single boys. That was weird.
As a parent, there are no perfect answers. But you don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
My name is Julius. I have cerebral palsy. I work for Farmer Jeffrey Weising Law Firm. I do a lot of data entry and scanning documents. I want to increase my working experience to make the company much better. At the end of the day, it's good to think of the day's work and to think about what I have accomplished.
Hi, this is Dan Marino. When your business recruits people with disabilities, everybody wins. To find out how, go to abilitieswork.employflorida.com.
Stay connected to your clients and new customers using ABC7 Digital Media Services. Our team of professionals provide a wide array of digital services to help you get the most out of your website. We specialize in building and helping you maintain the most effective digital solutions for your business. It's vital that your online presence stands out, so our experts will equip you with the best resources available. Trust ABC7 Digital Media Services to give you the right tools to grow your business. Check out My Suncoast Dining on mysuncoast.com, your guide to the foodie lifestyle. ABC7's own Chef Judy serves up her favorite recipes, cooking tips and trends, dining blogs, step-by-step videos, and Suncoast Restaurant Guide. You'll find it all at mysuncoast.com/dining.
In France, an airport worker is in trouble after punching a passenger who was holding a baby.
The victim was scheduled to fly out of Nice on Saturday, but his flight was delayed for 11 hours. A bystander subdued the attacker until police arrived. The man with the baby was removed from the scene but was on his plane when it was time to take off. Officials with EasyJet say the suspect was not an airline employee. The airline did issue an apology saying the flight was held up because of a technical issue.
Incredible video out of Canada. A couple uses their boat to help fight a grass fire without ever leaving the water. Lori Jane Arnott says she was relaxing on the river when she saw some smoke and then started to take this video. You can see the couple steered their boat closer to the shore and started spinning it. The water that splashed up went toward the fire and helped contain it until a fire truck appeared shortly after. No one was hurt.
Brilliant.
Wow.
If you have the stomach for it, you can now walk across the world's longest pedestrian suspension bridge. The bridge in Switzerland is now open to the public. It's more than 1,600 feet long, but it's only about 2 feet wide. The bridge took about 10 weeks to build and replaces one that was shut down in 2010 due to unstable terrain and rockfalls. It also completes a section of the Europa Weg Trail, which offers views of some of Switzerland's highest peaks.
Wow.
apparently it has a technology. You would think a bridge like that, it could potentially
swing, yeah.
But they have technology to keep it steady at all times, even with some high winds.
That's just looking at going down that.
Yeah,
That's intense. Still to come on your Suncoast News, another shakeup at the White House. The new communications director is out. On the same day, the president swears in a new chief of staff. What this means going forward.
But first, a plea from an animal rescue center here on the Suncoast, where staff is asking for help caring for its animals.
Now's the perfect time to work with California Closets. During our Shades of White event, save up to 20% on our beautiful white finishes for any space in your home. Contact us today for your free design consultation. Visit our showroom or online at californiaclosets.com.
Being the caregiver for someone you love is truly a blessing. But sometimes you can lose a part of yourself. To be your best, for them and for you, it's important to have time to be able to recharge your batteries. When you call Tidewell Hospice, they can give you a chance to do just that, and with the peace of mind of knowing your loved one is in the very best hands. Tidewell Hospice. It's more than you think.
Today, everyone is looking for more fashionable choices in flooring than ever before. And G. Fried has responded with a huge selection of carpets, tile, wood, laminate, and vinyl. Installed by a highly skilled team, G. Fried has got everything you're looking for and more. The next time you think about quality flooring, think G. Fried Flooring America. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
Are you currently on Medicare? In other words, do you carry the red, white, and blue Medicare card? If so, are you suffering from chronic back pain? If you answered yes, you may be eligible for a pain-relieving back brace covered by Medicare at little to no cost, shipped directly to your home for free. These medical-grade back braces are ideal for lower back pain, arthritis, spinal disorders, and other chronic back problems. Will you qualify for a medical-grade back brace?
Call Back Brace America at 1-800-683-9262.
My name is Luke Perry, and I am 1 million strong. I'm in the fight against colorectal cancer because I believe we can win it. Colon and rectal cancers are the second leading cause of cancer deaths among men and women in the U.S. Colon cancer is preventable. Know the risk factors and make sure to get screened. There are simple, take-home options available. Take control of your health. Screening for colon cancer isn't embarrassing. It can be life-saving. To find out more about your options, visit fightcrc.org.
Looking for something fun to do on a Friday night? Then come to Music on Main, the first Friday of every month at Lakewood Ranch. Enjoy free live music, dancing, great food, and lots of fun for every family member, even the furry ones. Meet up with friends, enjoy activities for the kids, or make it a special date night. And be sure to stop by the ABC7 booth and say hello. Mark your calendars for Music on Main, first Friday of the month, 6 to 9 at Lakewood Ranch. Brought to you by ABC7 and these sponsors.
Now's the perfect time to work with California Closets. During our Shades of White event, save up to 20% on our beautiful white finishes for any space in your home. Contact us today for your free design consultation. Visit our showroom or online at californiaclosets.com.